everyone, and welcome back to the Deloitte Women's Premier League Show. I'm Ash, and of course, every week, we profile, the players in the WPL. And this week, we are joined by Hougang United. Even though we are, a bit of a season break, we do have two players who I believe are in the provisional Asian Games squad. So, welcome Raudhah and Nicole to the show, guys.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It's great to have, Raudhah back in the studio. You were here last season. I just want to ask both of you, how are you enjoying the season of Hougang so far?
I think the season has been very competitive so far. Like every team is really
giving their all.
Giving their all. Yeah.
So for yourself, Nicole, how
I
have
think
you been?
for last season it was like there was one dominating team lah. I think this season got a few teams that are putting out a good fight. Yeah, so it's quite competitive and it's more fun than last season, I'd say.
I want to ask you, Hougang are currently third in the standings, even though we are in a season break, right? Do you think it's still possible for you guys to win the title, Raudhah?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. We're gonna win this title.
Yeah, possible. Very possible.
We had a lot of guests who came on and we asked them who has been the toughest opponent, and many of them actually said Hougang. What do you have to say about that?
Wow.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
It's a good thing for you guys, yeah. I want to ask you, Raudhah in particular, there's been a lot of talk about how well you've performed this season, but I think it's just a testament to a kind of player you are, right? So, what's been different for you this season personally?
I believe at the start of the season, I put a goal for myself. I give myself a goal I wanna be score as many goals. Be at the top of my game again. Yeah, I think that's very important to always have a goal coming into the season and working for it. Yeah.
And Nicole, for yourself, do you have any goal coming into this season?
Because I think my time in Hougang was limited because I'm overseas, studying overseas. So I just try to have fun because the time is very limited. Yeah, I have a few games only.
I believe that you are with University of Edinburgh, right? So what's it like juggling school and football? Actually, when do we get to see you? Usually is it during a season break or during a holiday break?
Yeah, it's during a summer break where it's like I have 6 months. Yeah, so it's quite long. So I'll usually fly back to Singapore, and that's when I can play the WPL. Yeah, but it's been quite challenging because I have to fly to and fro the countries, and for these Asian Games, I even I postponed my studies by 2 weeks. Yeah, I push it back so that I can participate in Asian Games. So yeah, it's a bit.
I just want to ask you a little bit more about Asian Games, since both of you are in Coach Karim and the Singapore national team provisional list. Raudhah, for yourself personally, what's your goal at the Asian Games?
Oh wow. I think I just want the team to believe that they can actually we can actually do it. Be ready for the game, no matter who's the opponent. That we are up for anybody. Yeah.
And Nicole, for yourself?
I think the opponent that we have is North Korea.
Yeah.
And it's they are a tough opponent.
Tough.
So I think we just have to go into the games with the mindset of having nothing to lose. So we'll put up a good fight, hopefully. Yeah.
Nicole, when you saw your name on the list, what was your reaction? I know you must have felt something.
Yeah. I was very happy actually. Yeah, and very proud to represent Singapore again in obviously this Asian Games is a larger competition compared to SEA Games. So yeah, I'm very excited.
I just want to ask you as well, since you guys are training right now with the Lionesses, and I know it can be quite brutal, Raudhah, I know it can be. But I just want to ask you as well, what's it like, in this kind of environment, which is different from the previous one as well?
I think the current squad that we have right now is everybody is really working and really putting in their all, putting in their effort. Knowing who's our opponent, who we are up against with. It's very competitive. Everybody is really coming together and putting this effort before we go for the Asian Games. Yeah.
And you go for yourself. What's it like? Training with this group of girls.
I think there's a good mix between the young players and the senior players. Yeah, so there's a lot for the young players to learn from the senior players. So yeah, it's quite good dynamic. Yeah.
And can you also share with us a little bit about how you got started in football? What's your story?
I started when I was in JC, so I was in Hwa Chong JC, yeah, and I actually DS'd into that school.
Wow!
Yeah, because it was very near to my house, so I was like, oh, why not? Yeah, then I DS'd, yeah, and then I played for like A division, but I think COVID hit, so I didn't play for the second year. Also, I only played 1 year. Yeah, and then I think I joined Lion City Sailors after that, and the U19.
Yep.
Yeah, then I got scouted by Coach Stefan to go to the women's team. Yeah, and that's when.
So how long would you say your career so far has been? A couple of years?
Yeah, since 2019, I would say.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you're a newbie in football.
Yeah,
but you made,
newbie.
you know, some good strides, I would say. So well done on that, and hopefully we'll see you break into the senior team. And speaking of senior team, Raudhah, I would say you're more or less a senior player right now in the national team. But a little bit also about yourself, because I know your story is that you were playing also in school, right, from last season. So, you know, now you're working or playing with a lot of younger players. Do you like give them any advice, like, or do they come to you for any of that?
Sometimes, yeah, the younger players will come up to me and ask, you know, like, how can she defend better, or like how can, you know, she come and do support the team better, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And do you have, for example, like any player at the moment that, you know, you would say in the league has been, you know, a tough opponent, and someone, you know, maybe you admire in some way? Anyone, Nicole, like you've played against, or it could even be a teammate, someone that, you know, I always ask this to every guest, anyone that they respect or, you know, you look up to?
I think, like I said last season, I think Angie Pang will always be like
your OG.
My OG, yeah, the person who I don't want to go against with. Yeah.
Yourself?
I
Coach
think,
or someone, yeah.
I think my friend Clara, Clara Wong, yeah, like she just started also same as me, and like she's a beginner at football, but I think she has grown a lot over the years. So hopefully, like she can, you know, continue to reach a higher level in football. Yeah.
Shout out to Clara, yeah, and Angie as well. Awesome. Now a little bit more about the support that you guys have received. I want to ask you as well, Raudhah. I don't know whether I asked you this last season, but you know, has your family been very supportive of your foray into football? I mean, do they come to your games and stuff like that?
Yeah. My family is very supportive. Like, my mom will always come down for my match over the weekend, and sometimes my dad too. Yeah, very, very supportive environment. Yeah.
For yourself, Nicole, now that you're in school, like, you know, do they like, you know, always message you about your games and stuff like that? Like,
oh yeah, cause my dad is he's living overseas now in the Philippines. Yeah, so I will like update him on like the games. Yeah, and actually he's the one that taught me football in the first place.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
he taught you as in you guys played when you were a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was like very young. Yeah, actually that's how I started. Like, but it's not like those competitive kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't join JSSL, that kind of thing. You know. Yeah. But yeah, so I'll update him on like the Hougang and how training is going and stuff. Yeah, and he will like text me constantly to like ask me how is it. Yeah, and my mom also, she's very supportive, yeah, of me playing. Especially it's not easy to go from like one country to another. I don't think it's like a parent, like they want you to like focus more on the studies, but I think she has allowed me to come and, you know, play for Singapore and like Hougang. Yeah.
And it's your passion in some way. You love it, right?
Yeah, I love it.
You love what you do. Do what you love, guys. A little bit about that, Raudhah. I want to ask you as well, like, for both of you, what's special about this Hougang team? Maybe for you compared to last season you weren't with Hougang. So, you know, what's special for you from this season about this Hougang team that you like, you know, maybe your teammates or?
Oh, definitely the team, like as a whole, they are really like someone who is like my second family. Like they are like my second family. I don't know how to say, but you just feel it. Like you just know. Yeah.
You just know that they are the one like that.
Yeah, they are just the one. Yeah.
That's what I've heard, no? It's just like the vibe that you guys have in the team is special. Nicole, you want to share a little bit more? Because I know that you don't get to play with them all the time, but when you do, I'm sure it's something.
Oh yeah, oh, it's very fun. Yeah, it really, like what Raudhah said, it feels like a family, and I think everybody in the team looks out for one another, like on and off the pitch. So yeah.
And Raudhah, I mean, you just want to talking a little bit about the growth of women's football in Singapore. You've probably seen, you know, maybe the growth or the changes. What would you like to see more from our game here?
I think the women's football in Singapore, I think it'll be better and to have more of a, like, you know, more competitiveness in like a whole team, you know, like having that balance of players. Like if you see Albirex, they have like a lot of foreigners in their team right now, and even LCS is like, you know, having these players coming in, you know, and making the game more enjoyable in a way. Yeah.
Nicole, for yourself, like any, what would you like to see? And I also want to ask you, do you play in your school team as well, back in uni?
Yeah. I play for the uni and I play for a club that the uni started.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 leagues lah.
So it must be competitive playing overseas as well, because the level must be so much more different.
Oh yeah, very different. I would say they're bigger in stature, so obviously you have to like use other parts of your game to compensate for like that part. So I don't know, I try to like work more on the speed maybe, you know, to like beat them, but yeah, it's definitely different from Singapore.
Okay. And you know, of course, before we go, I just wanted to say as well, you know, that, you know, we're very proud of you guys for representing us at the Asian Games. So hopefully we will do well. Guys, you must support our Lionesses and get behind our girls. Raudhah and Nicole are in the squad that's going to the Asian Games. So before we go, you know, I just always have this message for the fans, but I also want to ask you guys, any advice, Raudhah, from yourself, because I'm sure many people out there have seen your goals. You've played really well, you know, honestly. So Nicole as well, but maybe a couple of words of advice for the young players who want to get in the game.
To always take that step forward. Always like take that step forward and never look back, you know, like if you never take that step forward, you wouldn't know how it will go towards it, you know? Yeah.
And Nicole, for yourself?
Is to work hard. Yeah. If you work very hard, then you will get to your goal. Yeah.
Take a step forward, guys, and work very hard. This is the fantastic advice from our 2 guests today, Nicole and Raudhah. And of course, can we get a message from you also to all your friends and your fans as well?
Thank you guys for supporting us, you know, supporting the team, everybody out there. You guys have been amazing, and it gives us the motivation and encouragement when we play our matches. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Hougang, the team, and also the national team for, you know, working so hard together and, you know, getting through like these tough trainings. Yeah, and to my family.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. You know, I'm so proud of you guys. So we'll continue to see you guys play for Hougang and the national team. All the best at the Asian Games.
Thank you.
And keep flying the flag high for women's football. I'm Ash from Footballita, and of course, do continue to watch the WPL when it comes back, and also the national team. I'll see you guys next time.